friends, and welcome to our pro-life reflections on the readings for the 26th Sunday in Year A. People indeed can convert. God himself asks us to believe that through today's readings. The son who first said no can later say yes, as the gospel indicates. The wicked one can turn from his wickedness and still find life, as the first reading indicates. This proves true in the pro-life effort. In fact, the flow of conversions is in the direction of life, not death. Norma McCorvey, the former Jane Roe and plaintiff and winner of the Supreme Court's 1973 Roe v. Wade decision legalizing abortion, became a pro-life Catholic and worked for the rest of her life to end abortion. I received her into the church. The same is true of Dr. Bernard Nathanson, one of the chief engineers of the abortion rights movement. And there are so many others. That an international society of ex-abortionists has been formed. It's called the Society of Centurions. But even more common is the testimony, "I regret my abortion." Testimony from the women of the Silent No More Awareness campaign, the largest mobilization in history of those who have had abortions and now speak out against them. "I regret lost fatherhood" is the message that the men of the campaign offer as they grieve the children they lost to abortion. The church is called by today's readings to welcome these individuals back, to learn from their experience. The longer form of the second reading leads us to reflect that pro-choice is an exaltation of self. The cross is the denial of self. Pro-choice is the assertion of oneself. The cross is the emptying of oneself. Pro-choice says we can lift ourselves up. The cross says that we are obedient and God lifts us up. The war between the culture of life and the culture of death did not begin after Roe v. Wade, although it did enter a new chapter at that point. It is a cosmic struggle with its origins at the dawn of human history, and in fact, in the history of the angels. In Revelation 12:7, we read, "War broke out in heaven." War is a terrible thing on earth, but what must it mean that it broke out in heaven? This war involved some angels who rebelled against God and became devils. What caused that? What was the devil's mistake? In Isaiah 14, we read a rebuke to the king of Babylon. The passage also has a deeper spiritual meaning. It's a glimpse into the thinking of the evil one. And it says, "How you have fallen from the heavens, O Lucifer. You said in your heart, I will scale the heavens above the stars of God. I will set up my throne. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." There's the devil's mistake. He thought that he could be God. This is why the angels who fought him in heaven were led by one named Michael, which means, "Who is like God?" Michael and his angels won, but the war did not end there. Satan and his legion were cast down to the earth, and then our troubles began. The solution to the thinking of the evil one is the thinking of the Holy One. As Isaiah lifted the veil to show us the mind of Lucifer, so St. Paul in today's second reading lifts the veil to show us the mind of Christ. Though he was in the form of God, Jesus did not deem equality with God something to be grasped. Rather, he emptied himself, taking the form of a slave. It was thus that he humbled himself, obediently accepting even death on a cross. Therefore, God highly exalted him. This attitude, which St. Paul says must be ours, communicates the attitude that we exalt ourselves by obedience to God, not by our own choices. Our freedom and fulfillment come from a humble acceptance and obedience to a truth that we did not create. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil reflects our choices. The power to choose to love as Christ loved means to embrace the cross, to accept his truth that we do not create. and to seek the good of the other person. Friends, to find pro-life reflections on the readings for all the Sundays of the year, go to preachingonabortion.com, where you can also order my book, Proclaiming the Message of Life.